Hi everyone, today marks 2 weeks until I leave for Japan and I'm so excited. And it's kind of getting more and more real each day because like I'm gonna be leaving and it's gonna be crazy because I am such a homebody. Like if you really know me, I love being home. Like I will be home on the weekends every day if I wanted to. And this big move is just something to get out of my shell and also get past this big like fear and anxiety of just being alone. And I'm so excited about it because it's not just going to a different country, but a country and a culture and just an area that I am so deep in love with. From the anime, the language, because the language to me is just so beautifully just well put. I don't know, like it's just something that I just loved. I love and continue to love to learn, and just the tradition and the agriculture and everything in the temples. It's just everything just blows my mind, and I'm just so excited to actually see it because if y'all don't already know, I have never been to Japan. And so I'm going there without no like references or any experience or nothing, just word of mouth from friends, people who've gone there, and my professor or my sensei who taught me all of my Japanese that I know so far when I was in college. And I am just so thankful for her as well because she really boosted my motivation and my drive to get a job in Japan. But today I want to talk about how I got my job in Japan. The job I'm going for is a teaching job, so I'll be teaching English in Japan. And I'm actually gonna be teaching English in Nagoya, which I found out a couple of days ago. So I'm very excited about that too because Nagoya is one of the big cities in Japan, not as big as Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka or Okinawa, all those major cities, but it is one of those major cities. And I'm actually flying into Nagoya, so it's really cool to be in the same city that I'm actually gonna be living in for the amount of time that I'm contracted to work for the company that I'm going for. So it's really cool because when I get there, I'll be training for 2 weeks, and then once I'm done, they'll put me in my housing that I actually I wanted to do. I don't know how to do the apartments and hunting and all that yet. So to make sure that I had my living and all my needs, I signed up for for the company I'm working for, their housing or their residence. So I was looking for jobs because I actually applied to the JET program. I applied to, I'm trying to remember the other one. But for the JET program, I did not even make it through the first round. I believe there's 2 rounds. The first round is just the application process, and the second round is the interview process. I did not even pass the application process because the criteria is so strict. Like you have to have, to me, I think you have to have first a teaching experience, which I do not have. And second, like other certificates of some sort of teaching or just exposure to this sort of field, which I do not have. So I have no record of me teaching or anything like that, but I have done a lot of babysitting and childcare. So that actually helped me get a job that I'm going for now is through my childcare. I guess one of my friends who are the moms of the kids I've been babysitting, I actually had her write a recommendation letter for me, and she's just the most sweetest lady ever, and she wrote it. And my interviewee told me that she had said really great words, so I was just really, I'm in awe of her. That family is just amazing. But going back to what I was saying, so the JET program, I did not pass the first part. Oh, and the second company that I applied for, I actually did not even go to the interview because I applied for it, and the interview was actually during a weekend where I actually had a track meet. If y'all don't know, I actually ran track in college, so I couldn't make it to that one. So that one was kind of like a bust. But then I was like really just wanting to, I don't know what got into me, but this drive to just, I want to go to Japan. Like I just want to, and I almost like I need to do it. I need to do it now, especially when I was about to, graduate. This was probably actually in November. This is actually in November of this past year, where about to be a year now. Wow, it was a year ago that I was actually thinking about going to Japan. It's crazy because I applied for the JET in November. Or was it October? One of those months. But going back to what I was saying, the sudden drive and passion that came over me to just go, and almost like I needed to go to Japan. Like it needed to happen once I graduated, just like washed over me. And I was talking to my sensei or professor, and she recommended me a couple of websites, which I'll put in the description box below. But the website I used was Gaijin Pop. And Gaijin Pop had a lot of teaching jobs on there that you could apply for. A lot of them had different criterias and just like things that differentiated from each one of them. And one of them stood out was a company that I actually applied for. And that company, it was honestly, I don't want to say easy, but really, I don't know, like just smooth. I honestly just applied through Gaijin Pop. I didn't even sit an application. Oh, I did sit an application later. So I submitted just those built-in applications that you can just sign, like send a resume through the website. I sent that in with the profile picture. Not a really good profile picture. After I applied to my company, I actually applied to, I think, a couple more, but they never got back to me. But the company that I'm going for, they did in like 2 weeks. And they said, oh, hey, we're really interested. Would you mind sending us an actual application of all, just a basic application of where you're going, what your school was, your past jobs, etc. And I sent them that, and then not even a day later, they respond, hey, like, so we would like to do an interview with you, a Skype interview with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is getting real. And it was crazy because I watch a lot of YouTube, and I watch a lot of YouTube actually on Japan, and abroad to Japan is a really great channel that if you really want to learn about Japan, for my reference, I think it's a great, because it just has so much in there that you can just browse and look. And I think there's another one, I don't know, but I'll list them below. There's just so many channels that you can look on, and also Rachel and June is a big one that I watch all the time, and just their adventures and just what they do. And I don't know, it just makes me just, when I was watching those before I even like applied, I was like, man, I want to be there. I want to be like them. Konnichiwa. I just wanted to be in Japan. I was just wishing and all that. But once they contacted me to do a Skype interview, that's when it hit me where I was like, oh my gosh, this could be real. Like this could be, I could be going if I pass this interview. So I started like prepping. I started researching on like teaching videos and teaching this and teaching that and prepping myself and just being like, you got this, girl. Do your thing. You can do it. You can knock on any door and they'll open. Externally, I was flipping out. You can just see on my face, I was like, oh my God, this could be real. This could be real. And so they told me for my Skype interview that the first like, I think 10 minutes of my interview was just them asking me questions and getting more from me than they got on my resume. And the questions they asked me were like, what prefecture do you want to live in? If a child runs out of classroom, what do you do? Stuff like that, like just in scenario like questions as well. Like those, I was like, oh man, I thought fast and quick, and they really seemed to like my answers, which honestly I was like, man, good, because that's honestly what I would do. So they asked me like probably like 10 to 15 questions. And after the questions, and what really got me nervous was the mock test. So the mock test or mock teaching, the interviewer will like pretty much just turn into like a 5 to 7 year old Japanese child. And like my interviewer went straight into character, and I was like, oh my gosh. And he started saying things in Japanese, which I was thinking, oh Lord, that I knew some Japanese, because I was like, yes, this. He was like, oh, I was like, oh yes, it's this color. And my interview, he's like, oh, good job. Like on the side, he's like, good job, girl. You got this. And I was like, God, I'm flipping out inside. But the whole thing went well, because they said that during the mock test or mock classroom setting is that I have to do a basic teaching, which is you can do numbers, colors, animals, whatever. I chose colors. And then a song, so you had to do a song. I forgot what song I used. Oh my gosh. Oh, I did 3 Little Monkeys Jump on the Bed. That's what I did. With I had a whole prop, like a whole thing. I bought it from this like teacher's supply store. I went all out because I was like, I want to go to Japan. So during the mock test, I had to do the lesson, which was colors, the song, and I also had to do arts and crafts. So the arts and craft I did was pretty cool. It was pretty unique. I did like this bird, like it was all like arts and craft with like hands and the feet. So the foot, so I did like a toucan. So like the body of the toucan was a foot, and then the feathers on the toucan was a hand. So like it just made it more arts and crafts for like the, you know, little kids, like maybe 5 or under, maybe 7 and under. My interviewer went nuts. He was like, oh my gosh, can I take a picture of that? I was like, yeah, you sure can. And I loved it because I was like, oh my God, does that mean like I got the job? And after that, he asked me a couple more questions and we concluded the interview from there. And after the interview, I think it was 2 or 3 days after, maybe it was a week. It was at most a week, at least 2 or 3 days between that span. I got an email from my interviewer and he pretty much said, congratulations, you passed the interview. We would love to offer you a job position with teaching in our company. We would love to hear from you whenever you get a chance, etc. And I'm telling you, I was so excited. Like, and then all of a sudden this wave is just like, like it is real now. Like I'm not just wishing anymore that, you know, oh my God, I wish I could be there. Like I'm going there now. Like I am officially going there. And I texted my mom, I called my sister. I just pretty much told everyone like I'm going to Japan. Like this is real now. And I accepted the job offer. They sent me a pre-departure guide I have here. It has everything I need to know about Japan. And before I get there and everything about their policies and their rules, and they've just been really, really good and taking really good care of me. And I'm just so thankful that I got accepted to this company because they just really so far for me, they've taken really good care of my pre-departure. And before I go to Japan, my interviewer has been great, or just my, I guess, representative, I don't know how you call them, but he has been 100% on top of it, and he always responds a day, at least no more than 24 hours, and he responds to me because they are 14 hours ahead from here. Oh, I'm also gonna talk about how I booked my flight. Yeah. So I booked my flight through Alternative Airlines, and it's a website that pretty much helps you find the cheapest flight anywhere pretty much. You can fly international, domestic, whichever. What's really cool about it is that my boss actually told me about the website and made me feel really good that he was actually looking out, and also he was actually planning on going to the Olympics in Japan too this year. So he was like, oh my gosh, look at these flights. Like literally from DFW to Nagoya, it's like 1,500 to 2 grand. But I'm actually gonna fly out of Dallas Love with Southwest to LAX, and that was $83. And then I'm flying out of LAX to Nagoya, and that was $550. So my flight to Japan was so cheap. Well, cheaper. It was like almost half the price of if I would have flown out of DFW. So Alternative Airlines, I highly recommend. It is full of great prices and deals, and honestly, it's really fluctuating in price. I remember when I first looked at my flight to from LAX to Nagoya, it was like $513, and then it started rising and lowering. Actually, it wasn't 500. It wasn't like 500. It was like 300, and it was 300 in August. And it's crazy because it fluctuated so much. Like I remember it was 400 and back to 300, and then it actually went to 500 when I actually had booked my flight. Which my interviewer actually told me to wait to book my flight because in the pre-departure packet, it actually recommends to wait until you get your visa to book your flight, which I'm actually glad I did because honestly, I was supposed to leave in October, but with all this time crunch and me waiting for my degree to come in, which it came in August because I had to take a main semester, with all the time pushes, I guess pushed with time, and October was very like crunched. Like there could not be a delay in any of you know, the sending or me going to the embassy, anything like that. So we pushed it back to November, and so when I got my visa, that's when I booked my flight. And unfortunately, the price went from 300 to 500, which still is not even half the price of how I would have flown out of DFW. So I'm very excited that I saved money. So I kind of wanted to share a little bit on, you know, how I got my job in Japan. I know it's not a lot. I hope to do more videos like this in the future. It's just right now I just felt like shooting, and like I said, why not? And that's pretty much it for today, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.